if I can go back further, get a better shot. There we go. Now get the whole picture in. Looking for handicap accessibility, guys. Hey, mayor's got 2 parking spots here. Interesting. How many mayors are in Macon? That is interesting. I don't really see handicap accessibility anywhere here. This is the back side of the City Hall. Oh, here it is.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Alright, we'll go there. Thank you, buddy. Appreciate it. There you go.
What are you filming for?
Who are you?
What's that?
Who are you?
No, I just was wondering what I'm being filmed for.
And so this is where, when you come in, that's the municipal court, but you have to come to this door here. Too. I don't see the police there.
Is there any reason why you're in here videoing or taking pictures?
Am I required to answer that?
Yes, sir, you are. Because this is a security checkpoint from the sheriff's office, and you're not allowed to video and take pictures of our security checkpoints and stuff like that.
I believe you're wrong on that.
No, sir.
DHS has already released a memo on that.
Who?
DHS, Department of Homeland Security. You can film
We have an
checkpoints.
internal rule
That's
against
policies. That's not law.
that. Well,
Okay.
I have to ask you to leave, sir.
I'm
And I can do that.
Okay. I'm conducting a First Amendment activity. Okay.
Yes, sir.
So-
I'm asking you to leave.
Is that a request or is that
No,
an
sir.
order?
That is a directive. Yes, sir.
Is that a direct order that you're telling me I have to leave this building?
I'm telling you that you cannot video our courtroom.
This is not the courtroom.
This is a security checkpoint for the courtroom.
You can, is your supervisor here?
I'm the supervisor down here, sir.
Okay, what's your name?
Deputy Smith.
Deputy Smith. Who's your supervisor?
Who's my supervisor? The major that's over me is Major Williams.
Okay,
at the
can we speak with
courthouse.
him?
He's at the courthouse.
Okay, who else is above him then?
The sheriff is over him.
Okay, is he here?
No, he's down at the sheriff's office.
Okay. Yeah, you with the sheriff's department, right?
Yes, sir. I'm the
Okay.
deputy sheriff.
All right, so as the sheriff's office, you swear oaths to the Constitution, correct?
Sir, I'm not.
No.
Sir,
Because this is a,
listen to me. Listen to me. I'm giving you a directive that you cannot take video of our security checkpoint for security reasons.
Okay,
so
but
I'm
that's,
asking you to leave.
okay, but that's
okay?
not a law, sir.
Yes, sir. I'm giving you a lawful order.
But what?
Okay, listen to me. I'm giving you a lawful.
Can we step outside and let's talk for a minute, okay?
No, sir. I don't have to step outside. I'm asking you to step outside and leave.
Is this a public lobby? Is this a public
This
lobby?
is a security. Yes, sir.
Okay.
It is, but it's a security.
Then but you can film security checkpoints,
Okay.
okay?
I'm asking you to leave, please.
Okay, you're telling me that are you saying that I'm not allowed to conduct a First Amendment activity here?
I'm telling you, you cannot video the security checkpoint.
Okay, is this in plain view of the public, from the public lobby?
You can have us outside. Right here, that's fine, not our security checkpoint.
Okay. I'm trying to be reasonable with you, okay?
I'm trying to be reasonable.
Okay, but you're wrong, as I'm trying to explain it to you, okay? If you just relax just a second, let's talk it out just for a minute, okay? All right. You've heard of the DHS, right? Department of Homeland Security, okay? You know that they have submitted a memo saying that it's okay to film, that you have the right to film security checkpoints, okay? If you look at...
I've never heard that, sir.
You have never heard of that?
No, sir.
You have never...
I have worked in court security for 5 years, and I've never heard that.
Have you been up to date with the 2010 training?
Yes, sir.
You have?
Yes, sir.
Then I think you might want to go back and look at it, because DHS memo says that you're allowed to film anything in public view within a government facility, okay? If you look, this is a public lobby. Anything I can see from here, my eyes cannot trespass from there. It goes the same thing with the camera. If I can visually see this, that's not against the law. I can record it from a public property. Security checkpoints, even at the airlines, you can go there to the airports and record security checkpoints at the airport. There is no law that forbids recording of security checkpoints. Your policies may be that way, but policies don't trump constitutional rights. That's why I asked you if you were the sheriff's office and you said yes. Then I asked you if you swore an oath to the Constitution, because your job as the sheriff is to uphold constitutional law as well as other laws, okay? So by you telling me to leave...
I follow my sheriff's directives and policies.
Okay, but it cannot go against the Constitution. If your sheriff told you to shoot a man because he was black, just because he was black, would you follow that order?
No, that would be an unlawful order.
Okay, but so is telling me I cannot film in a constitutional protected activity, which I'm doing now. I'm verbally telling you this, okay? I came in here with the intention not to say anything, okay? Which is my right, Fifth Amendment right not to say anything. And I could have stand there and based off of your agitation immediately, instead of just coming up and talking to me, okay? I honestly believe that you would have escalated beyond what it needed to go to, okay? And that's speculation at this point,
I'm just trying
okay?
to keep
But what I'm saying is that it's a constitutional protected activity.
What legal reason do you have to video our security check?
First Amendment right. And here, I'm reaching in my pocket, and I have no weapons or anything on me, okay? If you read at the very bottom on there, it gives you some codes and stuff that you can look up if you need to look anything up, okay? Smith versus Cummings is a good case law for you to reference. So right now this is consensual, correct? Now, you would ask what gives me the right, other than the First Amendment. As I said, I'm going to take my card back. If you, as I said, you look at the bottom there's case law, and there's actual law in the book that says I have the right to do so. Also the constitutional right to do so. Now, I understand you talking about the court. Yes, inside the court, you're not allowed to film inside the court or take photographs without the judge's permission. without filing a motion to get access to the court. But anything from the public lobby, anything from a hallway, foyer, or whatever, is open to the public. You can photograph, record, and film without having to have permission. Okay? And part of what I do is educate people, such as yourself, and other people who may have questions or concerns. That is a constitutional right, and that we have the right as the public and as the media to come into these areas and to record without being harassed and being demanded. You know, you have to leave, like you first started off conversation. You said you'd give me a directive to leave. Well, you and I both know that in an unlawful order, I do not have to follow that. Now, you could escalate it anyway beyond that point and find some other charge to charge me with to cover your basis for an arrest. You and I both know that.
No, I don't
Okay.
want to have to do that.
Well, that's what I'm saying. No, that's what I'm saying. And I'm not giving.
That's not something I
Right.
want to do.
And I'm not giving you any reason to do so. That's why I'm having a conversation with you. Okay? But anything that you can see from public, within the Supreme Court rule, the eyes cannot trespass. Anything I can see means I can record and take photographs from public. Now, I can't take my camera to a public bathroom, okay, because that's, supposed to have privacy in those areas. But out in the public, there is no expectation of privacy. And I don't even have to explain that much, but like I said, my goal is to educate people so we don't have
I
issues.
understand that. I understand that completely. Okay? If you don't mind, can I get your name?
I'd rather not give my name at this time. When we're done with everything, when I get done, what I'll do is I will actually reach back out to you guys and provide all the details and everything from that point.
Okay. The reason why I'm just asking for our security reasons, when we have people that come in, especially at the courthouse, more so, because of all the different things that's happened.
Like what?
As far as attack on courthouses and attack on courtrooms and stuff like that. There has been a number of those around the state of Georgia over the last 5 years or so.
Okay.
To include the incident with Brian Nichols. I know that was inside the courtroom, but Forsyth County was the last one I can think of about a year and a half ago, where there was an individual that tried to make an assault on the courthouse. He was in video and taking pictures just days before. That's the reason why we changed our policy. And I'm just trying to explain to you the
Okay.
reason.
And that's fine.
My mindset of the reason why I'm trying to do it and the reason why I'm trying to get your name is because I would like to know who I've spoke with and who was actually in here videoing and taking pictures of our security checkpoint based off of our policy and procedure.
Okay. Listen to your explanation. Basically, your explanation is by somebody else from a different city, different state, committed a crime, therefore you are restricting the rights of everybody because of somebody else. Nichols, for instance, you said. With security cameras out, you have security cameras, but you do have blind spots everywhere, right? Okay.
Yes.
I mean, it's inevitable. Every place does.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Wouldn't it be nice to have had a journalist here on location, and if something was to have happened, would have captured anything that happened, up to that point, so you know that, hey, it's one, maybe two, maybe three perpetrators, or whatever it may be. There's nothing illegal about the cameras. There's nothing. I mean, you welcome to look, see it, it's recording. I mean, there's absolutely nothing dangerous about this. The only thing that it does, it ends careers of people who break the law, is what it does, and helps capture criminals who break the law. Only people who fear the camera are typically people who have done something wrong, from what I found in my personal opinion. People who have guilty consciences have issues with people recording. We're recorded right now. We've got one, two, maybe three cameras right now recording us. That's an overhead shot. I'm just getting a ground shot. There's nothing different that these are recording, just a different angle. The only difference is that you guys control that information. I control this information. And when it's not in your control, it seems to be that's when there's an issue with you guys. Okay? I'm not here to cause any problems or anything like that, as far as I'm not making any threats or anything, but I am here to exercise, like I said, my First Amendment right. It's a constitutional protected activity. And as I also provided you the card, it showed you other case law and other regulations that authorized me to do this. So the question is that do you want to go against the Supreme Court ruling and law and the Constitution and prevent me from doing this and violate my rights, I mean, that's up to you.
As long as you stay behind the security checkpoint.
I have no intention of passing a security checkpoint at any point in time.
Okay, no problem.
Okay? I appreciate you listening. Appreciate you taking the time to hear what I had to say
Yes, sir.
and not escalating it
Oh, no,
super quick,
it
okay?
was-
Because
That was never my intent to try to escalate. All I wanted to do is try to do what our policy states and not have somebody. That's why I didn't say nothing while you were over here.
Right.
And it wasn't until you turned the camera towards our security checkpoint because of our rules and regulations.
well, if you're saying that the chief has put that information out as far as changing the policy, I'll get with the chief later on that. But you may, on your own accord, if you want to discuss that with him,
I will
because
talk with him when I get.
that is dangerous for you guys because, again, the sheriff office has sworn an oath to protect the Constitution itself. Unlike the police department. They swear an oath, but the sheriff is the only one recognized by the Constitution as the law of the land. And when you guys start restricting access and changing department policies or whatever to prevent access to the constitutional standpoints there, then you guys are going against the Constitution, therefore you're falling out of the line of what you're supposed to do.
And what I will do is I will get a clarification because I know that is the policy as for the courthouse and people coming into the courthouse, which I know is a public building as well. But I will get a clarification for there compared to here because I know it's technically this is because of having a courtroom here is still technically considered a courthouse
And see,
by law. But that's why I'm gonna get a clarification from
check
my
it.
supervisor.
Like I said, if you want to, you got your camera on him, I'll let you take a picture of the bottom of the laws down here real quick, so that way that you can have it as a reference so you can look it up later. But those case laws there and the actual laws that are there authorize that, as well as the DHS memo that was released in 2010 that helped clarify some items as well too. I mean, so there's a lot of stuff that's out there. The problem is that a lot of people aren't aware of that information, and
And like I said, I've been through a number of different court security classes, taught from people from all over the country as far as with court security and stuff like that. And then, because that is my forte. I'm working at the courthouse, I try to get all my classes related to terrorism and stuff like that will relate and interline with my job and court security classes and stuff like that. And so that's why this information is good information for me. My thing has always been every day you learn something new.
Oh, absolutely.
This is
Absolutely.
something new I learned
Absolutely.
today. So I will get with my supervisors when I get over to the courthouse today and find a clarification from them as well as far as with that and let them know about this interaction as well.
not a problem. If you have a business card,
No, I don't.
you have one for the chief? Okay. I would say if you had a business card, what I can do, I'll look you up online. You're online where I can contact you through online email, right?
I do have online email. Yes.
I mean, through the department, not personal. Okay. So I'll look you guys up and I'll send you an email that way and provide some more information if he's interested in that. But again, I mean, like I said, there's nothing illegal about it. I understand about inside the courtrooms. Courts have ruled that you can't record without permission inside the courtroom. My personal opinion, that goes against the Constitution because it's a public setting. That's, but the judges have ruled against me on that and the people. But
I just took somebody into custody and held them in contempt just a couple weeks ago on a trial where they were videoing the voir dire where you question the jurors. They videoed the questioning of the jurors, put it out on Facebook when there had already been, they actually
Information.
Facebook Live in the courtroom.
yeah, well,
Because all of our courtrooms have no electronic devices are allowed on in the courtrooms, including cell phones. You're supposed to have them turned off in the courtroom.
and see, that varies from county to county that I've noticed personally. I was in Fort Valley not too long, just covering a public courtroom case, and they allowed you to have cell phones in the courtroom. You could have phone. In fact, the judge is like, just turn your ringtones off. You can text, send messages, whatever. She didn't care. So I guess, it's a judge preference. And again, like I said, it goes back to when people start having things to hide, they start cutting out the eyes. And again, it's a public, the courtroom is supposed to be a public setting for the public to see and make sure that the justice and laws are being held.
Yeah,
And then
we don't restrict people from coming in.
Wait, no, I understand. But again,
But at the
recorded.
same time, you can restrict people from bringing certain items in. So why?
Well, it's part of the media. You know, media is a protected constitutional activity.
Yeah,
And
but if you're part of the media, you should be able to be petitioned based off the case laws that allow you to be able to petition the judge to bring in.
well, let me let you in a little secret. Supreme Court, and just because you said you like reading up, do some research. I can't remember the case law off the top of my head because I've been doing a lot of research on another story that I've been doing. But Supreme Court has passed a law, Supreme Court doesn't pass laws; they interpret laws, right? So they interpreted the law as far as the First Amendment, as far as the media, that basically it encompasses anybody who wants to be in the media. There is no limitations on that now based off of the case law. So anybody with a cell phone that has a record button, anybody that has a notepad, technically who wants to exercise those rights and do that is technically a member of the media according to the new case law. And again, I don't remember what the name is. You have to Google that. And I apologize. Like I said, I've been doing research for the last 3 months on another story. I just happened to be up in this area today. But again, I appreciate you talking to me. I'll get back with you guys on that later. You know, and I'm just about done here anyway.
Okay.
But you got any other last questions other than my name? Because I'm not giving that out right now.
That's fine.
All right. Appreciate it. Thank you. Finishing up here at the Macon Police Department. We did not go into the courtroom or the City Hall portion. We'll save that for another day. If everything was captured on this video here, we would have seen the encounter that I have. Again, my audits are about education and not necessarily about just finding stuff out and leaving it as is. Things did get a little heated up just briefly for a moment, but was able to calm down and discuss it like adults, and I was able to point out some things for them. Again, this is about education as well as exercising our First Amendment rights and our constitutional rights. I know I said I was going to go there and not say anything this time, but to be honest with you, in my personal opinion, things escalated kind of quick with his tone, and his mannerisms were, with his hands rubbing it together and stuff, the body language read that he was getting ready to escalate physically. So that's why I disengaged back a little bit to give him a buffer so that we could take a second to breathe, shut that process off so we can have a chance to talk. In this case, it did work because we were able to communicate. I was able to give him some information. He'll be passing that off to his chief, and we'll be going from there, guys. So this is Central Civilian Auditor. Thanks, guys, for your time. Make sure you like and subscribe. Follow me on Patreon if you'd like to. And I appreciate it. Here's a quick view of this area. Beautiful area. Beautiful area.